What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest Live Show. Manny's over here fishing.
Killing mosquitoes, man.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know what's going on with these mosquitoes. They're like after me today. Yo, what's up, Ryan? What's up, everyone out there?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm saying just fighting mosquitoes. But yeah, what a week, man. Can you take me on vacation with you?
Sure, let's go.
Man, I've had a roller coaster.
Kind of fold you up in my luggage. It'll be fine.
Let's go. You know, I'm skinny. You could fit me in there.
It'll be fine. But things are good, man. Things are good. We're busy. It's. I say that every week, but it's good. We're doing good.
Yeah.
I can't complain. You know.
Are you excited? Ready for your vacation?
I am.
What's up, Danny? What's up, Jeff?
What's up, Joshua? I am ready. I need a good break. It's been. Like I need like a real break without the phone, without all the can't reach me, you know. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go rogue and not be contacted, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Christopher Allen in the house. What's up, Chris?
But you know what's always hard is coming back off vacation.
What's up, Ron?
And fixing dents.
Oh,
It
yeah.
always takes me a little bit, you know, it's like, I know it's like riding a bike, but it still got to get back in the groove. And
so I'm going to tell Danny this. I'm going to tell on you. So Ryan here, he's going on a cruise vacation and then he's coming back Wednesday.
Disney cruise. We're going on a Disney
cruise. And Mr. Ryan here wants to go. He's going back to work Thursday. Can you guys believe that?
You know what? My boss is a real pain in my ass.
I've been giving Ryan a hard time this week because I'm like, Ryan, you cannot just go back. You can't just go on vacation and then come back straight to work. I'm like, you have to just take the rest of the week off. What do you?
Yeah, he's like, I can't believe you're gonna go back to work Thursday and Friday, and I'm like, why? I love dents so much. I just got to go back. It's like I'm addicted.
You might as well take your tools and fix anything that you can in the boat too.
That would be great. That would be great.
Oh man. But you know what? Have a great time, Ryan.
We are. I'll be up by Danny. I'm going to be going out of New Jersey. So we're going to drive to Jersey and let's go. The good thing is it doesn't look like there's any hurricanes coming. So we'll find out.
Yeah, that is true.
So what's new? Anything new with you this week?
You know, I got a couple of blinding hammers. I think that is definitely the highlight of my week. Other than that, I've just been slammed busy, you know, and then clients this week, they've just been weird.
Off? Well, it's a full moon, so that's some of it. Usually no.
I say this with respect to any clients that are watching, but it's been weird. Like, I had a client that I gave him a quote, and then he was just, you know, questioning the quality of my repairs because to him it seemed that my estimate was low. And
it could have been.
I was like,
it could have been low. Could have been low.
It could have been, you know. And then the next day I had a client, and same thing. He's questioning the quality of my, you know, repairs based off my estimate because now he thought my estimate was too high. So I'm like, okay, too low, too high. What is it? You know,
you're never gonna make them all happy.
Man, I'm telling you. But yeah, other than that, it was good. You know, just got backed up with a few jobs, but same like you, just busy. You know, I'm grateful. Yeah. Thank God for all the work. I hope everyone it's also busy out there.
I did a little training today with my new guy, Noah.
Okay.
And I had an insurance adjuster that I know came in the shop, and I have a Tesla Plaid there. Hit hard. I showed you the picture of it. I think it was yesterday or whatever. Nasty dent, kind of a bad spot in the fender. It's wrapped in matte PPF. And I was teaching Noah on how to, you're giving them an expensive estimate, right? You know it's high. Like I wrote this thing high because it's going to be a pain in the ass. But I taught him the conversation of diversion. And what diversion is you kind of talk, hey, you know, what have you been doing all, you know, how's your summer been? You done anything good? You traveled? And, you know, this guy's like, oh, you know, I going to be on TV here in the next couple weeks on Lego build off or whatever. He's big into Legos. I'm like, oh, really? I was like, come on in. You know, I have like the Lego bonsai tree in my waiting room, and we're talking Legos and we're just talking a little more stuff. And he comes back. He goes, we got a little bit of a problem. I'm like, what's that? He goes, we're $2.15 off. And I said, buy yourself a soda. So he leaves, and Noah's like, I don't quite know what happened. And I said, it's the diversion. It's the diversion of you give them an expensive bill, but you're connecting with them with something that they like. So like if you go into a manager's office and you are looking around and you see a little golf tee with his business cards. Hey, you golf. Where do you golf at Bowley Rock, or do you golf here, or fishing, or any of them? Oh, yeah. It's the thought of diversion, of that awkward moment of not really, here's an expensive bill, but how about those Legos? Yeah. So it was a good day for me to kind of show him that end of the business. Yeah, absolutely. You got to remember that, I mean, we're all just humans. We all have a life. We all have families. We all have a home to go to. We're all the same. It's just, we're working. We're just in different positions, you know? Yep. So to connect in a personal level, I think that you got your step in the door. You know? Even with your regular customers, you know, even if he's wearing a BMW shirt and he's driving an Audi, hey, you got a BMW? Yeah. It's that personal connection, dude. Yeah. I remember back when I was an estimator, there was this adjuster from State Farm. State Farm, it's known to be like tough out here. Same out here. And so, but I had already built a relationship with this guy, and we were really cool. But he knew his stuff, but I knew my stuff too, and we would always just go at it, you know, very respectfully. Of course. Anyways, one day it just got to the point where it was just like, Manny, look, man, like off the record, you're absolutely right, but you know, I can't write my sheet the way you're telling me. So why don't we just, you know, figure out where to make it up? And it's just like, I'm sorry, man. I know what you're saying, but I can't write it that way. So it's just like, you know, and that's out of connecting on a personal level, you know, where it's just like, hey, man, like, I get it, what you're trying to do, but let me just tell you where I'm at, and let's just figure it out some other way, you know? You win some, you lose some. That's how I look at it. Sometimes you're going to take one on the chin a little bit, and you're like, really, dude? Yeah. Then you sit back and you're like, my turn, my turn. So, and sometimes they'll help you out. It's just like, hey man, there's an extra $100 in there. Yeah. You know, just like, oh bro, like, cool, man, thank you. Yeah. I really was for sure right. he was not going to approve this. Like, oh really? Just it was a little high, you know, but I know the customer. I know what it's going to take, but I was for sure he was going to be like, you want $950 for that then? You know, he's just one of those guys, but hey, thank God for Legos. Joshua, I think I did get your DM, so I'll connect with you on that. The best blending hammer. But yeah. So I'm excited about this guest. And if you guys, I'm just going to pre-say this before he even comes on. You guys need to learn from this dude, because I really feel, and no disrespect, there's a lot of guys who do a really, really good job on here. And I put this out here before he comes on. Hopefully he can't hear me. But he does a really good job on Instagram. Like his Instagram regular post, they're all minis, little teaching, and he does a fantastic job. And I just, it was good. I mean, Manny met him at Anson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he does a really, really good job explaining, going through what step it is, keeping it light, having fun. And I was like, man, I got to learn. I got to steal some of this guy's ideas because he's doing a fantastic job. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, he's a really good tech. So, yeah, let's get him on.
All right, buddy.
Gonna make me cry. A tear in my eyes, guys.
So this is Levon Homer from Texas. From
Mr. Levon.
This is Levon.
So, Just a Dent.
Yes, sir.
It's a fantastic name.
Thank you.
It's been a question that's been in my head. Tell me, how did you come up with that name?
All right. So there's always a rule of thumb that I have on anything. When I have to think about it, I always wait 24 hours before I pull the trigger on it. So work got really, really slow for me, and I went back home to Michigan to go see some family. And I was thinking about moving back home up over there, and I was sitting in my grandpa's rocking chair. And I'm like, what will I name my business? What would I do? Like, what is my business name? And then I remember one of the people that were training me, he would always just tell me, like, Levon, it's just a dent. Just fix it. Just fix the dent. And I'm like, just a dent. Like, I mean, it's a slogan within itself. Like, it makes sense. Like, anything that it comes across is like, just a dent. Just a dent. That's all it is. And I will say thank you, Dustin, because that was Dustin that did that to me. And yeah, the memory from that guy.
That's
so
awesome.
We do a weekly joke. My kid picks out, and today I put her on a mission.
I'm horrible at this, by the way, so please help me out, Neil.
So I put her on a mission to get something that's kind of related to what you post a lot of sometimes, and I was like, It's got to be this. Okay. So here's the joke. I hope you're ready because Manny's not good.
Yeah, I look forward to the comments. They normally help me out here.
Let me make sure.
And if you guys can, share the show so everyone else could see that we're live.
How long do chickens work? How long do chickens work?
I'm hard about this shit too. Hey, girlfriend, you know this one?
How long do chickens work?
So how long do chickens work?
No.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Around the clock.
Cluck.
Around the clock.
Ooh. I got
so
one.
I tried to get something with a duck.
Adam Jones had it.
little rubber ducky, but
I got my go-to on this one. All right. What's the cheapest kind of meat you can buy? Deer balls, they're under $1.
That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh man, that was good. I like it.
That's awesome.
Levon's better have.
So I got a question. Another tech called me and said, "You got to ask this question. What's up with the rubber ducky?"
What duck?
What duck?
No.
The rubber ducky.
So, oh, man. So it became my mascot and my slogan of everything that I do now.
That's what you're talking about.
And how this happened was 8 years ago. I was at the bar and
Jesus,
I asked someone, what should I get tattooed on my ass? And long story short, now I have a rubber duck tattooed on my butt. And ever since then, everyone's giving me rubber ducks. So I kind of turned it into a thing in my office. I don't tell everyone, but if you know my business, because obviously I flaunt the duck everywhere, right? You bring a duck, save $1. So I support other local. I support other local small businesses. Connie's Bashak, I'm gonna throw it out there. I tell people if you want 10% off your repair, go to Connie's Bashak, which is in Old Town Spring, and buy a duck, and you save 10%. And then support other local small businesses in the area. So now that you saved a little bit of money, go have some drinks, go get some food. And then when you come back, you get the full experience of everyone being together as small business owners. and we all win out of it.
That's a fantastic
Dude,
idea.
that's so cool.
How did you come up with that idea?
My buddy Tom and I, we were just bouncing ideas back and forth on each other. And like I said, everyone just brought me rubber ducks for the past 8 years of my life. And it was just having some drinks, just bouncing some ideas, and it was like, bring a duck, save a buck. And that became the mascot / slogan.
That is crazy. Look, you have such a cool attitude, man. You're so humble. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Woo! So quick synopsis of my life. Born in Houston, so I am a Texan native. My mom is from Michigan, but I grew up in San Antonio. So born in Houston, lived in San Antonio, Texas, so I was 11. Then when I was 11, I moved up to Michigan because that's where my mom's from.
Okay.
And then I was up there until I was 22, and then sold everything I had, jumped on a train, and started a life in Houston in 2011 with nothing. No car, no anything. Just literally 2 suitcases, and that's it. And
what was it? You just wanted to come back? I mean, wanted to go back to Texas? Just wanted...
So it was more that in 2007, everything took a shit in Michigan. That was right when like Chevy, Ford, and everyone took a dump, and it affected a lot of the Michigan economy up over there, where factory workers aren't making the money and people are getting laid off. And I saw no growth or ambition to strive whatever I wanted to do. I was just going to get stuck in my small town and just live that cycle. And I didn't want that to happen to me in life. So I saw that Houston had one of the best economies and cheapest cost of living. And I was like, well, that sounds like the place where I can make it. And
that's good.
Been running here pretty much since 2011, on and off.
How long you been pushing?
I've been pushing dents for 9 years. So moved here in 2011. And then in 2013 is when I met my buddy Jason Rudolph at Advanced Auto Parts, where I was assistant manager at. And I used to ask everyone 3 questions. How much money do you make? Do you love what you do? And how do I do it? And he's like, well, I push dents. I make $72,000 a year. And he's like, I don't clock in for work. And I said, how the fuck do I do that? And he told me he was best friends with the district manager. And I just waited for the phone call. And I literally remember the phone call to this day, because right before that, it was like 3 days before, I was on the phone crying to my mom. Like, I'm 22, right? Trying to like figure out my life, or 23 at that time, trying to figure out my life. And no one was giving me an opportunity in this world, just at all. I was like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm ready to do something. And I was crying on the phone with my mom. My mom's like, just be patient, Levon. You got this. Like, someone's going to give you the opportunity. You have that pizzazz, that flavor. Like, it won't be missed. And like a week later, I got the call. Like, hey, do you want to go to training in St. Louis? And I said, when do I leave? He said, if you want to leave now, let's go. And I said, let's fucking go. Like, and I packed up myself and I left. And then the rest is history. We've been doing PDR since 2013.
Wow. And what was this company that you went to work for?
I don't know if I should say the devil's name. No, I'm joking. I commend everybody and everyone there with Dent Wizard. I worked with Dent Wizard for 6 years.
Okay.
They honestly, they changed my life and my world, and working with them and working with many awesome techs around the United States. I didn't chase hail, but because I was so young and I didn't have any family here in Houston, I did take the chance and the opportunity to travel around the United States whenever they needed help. So I got to work under a lot of 20 to close to 30-year techs and learn a lot of tips and tricks from technicians and stuff. So I commend where I'm at and as a technician because of those guys. Because not many people have the opportunity of working with experienced people like that.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I mean, Dent Wizard training, it was the best. I mean, absolutely world class. I mean, there are some badass techs out there that were trained by the Wiz. I mean, no disrespect to anybody else is training or has been in it, but back in the day, Dent Wizard training was no joke.
Yeah,
you either made it or you didn't.
Yeah, And I talk about that all the time. It was one of the most stressful things because it was a pass or fail situation. It wasn't you went up there for training. It was like if you passed, you got all the benefits, a 401k, company car, company gas card. You got all these things, and it was like you made it, you did it, right? And it was such a sigh of relief when you passed. And I felt like I placed last in my class, and it's like I felt like I was right on that cusp. But like now I'm one of the only people doing it in my class.
Yeah.
Everyone else quit, and I'm over here still doing it 9 years strong.
So before you went to training, so you already had like a feel of what PDR was, and
I had no idea what PDR was.
you just knew about cars, and you knew that you were going to be working on cars.
Yeah, that was my goal. Because I went to college for 4 years, and I played college soccer, and I tried to do like the desk job thing, and took a lot of like psychology, entrepreneurship, astrology. I was all over the place. I changed my major like 5 times. And I was like, you know what? I gotta do something like hand related. Like I'm very athletic. I'm very like I don't know. Play a lot of video games. Obviously, you say sports. So driven in that direction. So I was like, I'm gonna go work on cars. Like I don't know what it is. I thought I was gonna do paint and body. So I learned how to do a lot of collision stuff. And then someone, like I said, came in my door of PDR. Yeah. I'm like, what? Now I have a little idea how to do like dollar and hammer stuff and like some collision things. And now I know like, well, why can't I do PDR?
Yeah. So how was the training? Did it look like something that, like it was easy, you could do it, or was it challenging? That's what you liked about it? Like how was that process?
Extremely challenging. I remember Tim White coming up to me. They're like, what the fuck did you do? And I'm like, okay. So first off, Steve and Tim is like, I just had to figure out how hard I could push to make a high spot on a dent because like I'm over here pussyfooting around and I'm not fixing anything. So I had to know how hard I can push so I know not how hard to push. And you're like, well, you can't save that by pushing that hard. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know until that point. And like, dude, it was like military.
It is like very military based.
My buddy William, like, because they teach you how to work inverted, right? And then was it like this?
Yeah.
Right? I remember he was trying to work like that, and he's not the most flexible person in the entire world. So he's bent over trying to work, like trying to stand up. And Tim was like, stay down, you don't get up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's going on over here?
It was very like sit-ups and push-ups and very military. We had
to stretch every morning. Yeah.
Really?
It was serious stuff, man. I mean, like in my class, I had 31 people in my class and 7 of us graduated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they look at it as an investment. So a $50,000 investment in you to get you on the road. And if you're not worth it, they're not going to put the $50,000 investment in it.
So how long was your training?
2 months.
2 months. 2 months.
Really? And then, so you finished your training. You went back to Houston.
Yep. So I worked at Houston. I did almost every Auto Nation is a pretty big name. Everyone knows a lot of Auto Nation. I did a lot of Auto Nation dealerships. I did almost every CarMax you could think of here in Houston. And all of that lasted for about 3-4 years. And then, as you know, in any car dealership world, you take it when you can because it doesn't last forever. And it didn't last forever for me. And they dropped the bill at my CarMax, and then they pretty much were like, we don't have any more work for you. And, I mean, I was billing like $25,000 a month out of that account for them. Wow. And all of a sudden I went to nothing. And there was opportunity to go to Colorado. So it was my finger. It was me knocking. I had an opportunity to go to Colorado Springs, and I went up over there, and I moved there for a year and chased hail from Colorado Springs to the Denver, Aurora area and did a lot of the CarMaxes over there. So I got really familiar with hail. And I'm going to tell you, those Colorado guys, they're a different breed, man. Those guys, they are fast, and they are good. And I thought I was good until I went up over there, and I would literally say I can't fix things to see how they would do it because they were a different breed. And I didn't really realize it till I went up there for that year. And that's what really like changed my whole game and my perspective of how to fix dents was going up there for a year. And
what did they do differently, just for the people that are listening?
would say it's so heavy with competition over there. It's quality of work. So the more you practice quality of work, the faster you get at it. Where like here, there's not as heavy as competition, so you can, you know, give like 60% and then you could be okay. But over there, if you're not giving 100, the next guy behind you is going to give 100, and then you're out the door.
Makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense.
So I think the heavy competition was what really set the bar. Yeah, and there was no drilling at the Avis budgets, right? Like they weren't allowed to drill. Where like every CarMax that I worked at, you're allowed to drill.
Yeah.
So learning the tips and tricks of like, you know, just doing a lot of R&I, taking stuff apart and actually fixing things, or even moving strikers out of the way, and being able to snake a tool past a striker, or just all these little bends and stuff. Teaching your mind how to bend the tool and knowing where it goes really helped out a lot.
MacGyvering it.
Yeah, for sure, MacGyver.
So you were working in Colorado doing hail, and what happened after that?
Wasn't a big fan of the state. It was just like, yeah, I'm not a big weed smoker. Like I like to have my drinks and stuff, and I love the Southern hospitality a lot. And I built my family and my core friends down in the Houston area for the last 4 years, and I just knew that my support system was there whenever I wanted to start my business.
Yeah.
So I moved back to Houston and started my business pretty much right after that, a year later. And so I've been just a Dent for about 3 years now.
Oh.
So you decided at that point that you wanted to go a different route and just do straight retail?
I knew, okay, so when I first moved back to the colleges, I knew I always wanted to work on cars, and I thought I was going to own a body shop. And I didn't know people had PDR shops until I moved to Colorado. And I saw them on the side of the road. And I'm like, oh shit, like that's like an NTB. That's like a Take 5. That's like a Firestone. Like, why can't I do something like that? If I could see, if there's 5 body shops around me and I'm one PDR spot, why can't I do that? Why can't I just be their main center hub by finding the right location and placing it there? It just made sense. I don't know. Like I don't even. Yeah, I didn't want to do mobile. There's too much windshield time for me. Everyone's like not wanting to fix stuff, and then I would go out there and I would blow it out the park, and then I'm wasting an hour and a half one direction, an hour and a half back. Yeah. Now, like if you go look on some of my Instagram, I had people driving an hour and 40 minutes one direction to me in North Houston, when how many other technicians are around me? Like, why are they driving an hour and 40 minutes one way? I don't know, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
So did you find the location you're in right now, or did you have another space? How did all that unfold when you were like starting my business down here and we're ready to go? I'm going to do retail.
Okay. Yeah. So I knew I wanted to do retail, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to go about it. But there was a day I used to, next to my home bar, I used to drive past this detail shop all the time. And they always offered dent repair. And I was like, who are they using? Because like, there's not many dent guys, but I never knew who they were using. And one day when I just moved back, I step outside to answer a phone call, and I'm at a bar, lo and behold, and I see his wrapped vehicle outside. So I walk back in, and what did you call whenever you, the diversion talk?
Yeah.
Right? I call it fishing, because that's what I like to do, is like to throw little things out there and try to grab something, and like you can see who grabs. So my buddy Rashad and I are sitting inside. I'm like, hey, I saw the detail shop that I have been looking at trying to get in there for the longest time. I don't know who it is, but there's only 4 people in this bar right now. It's like, I'm gonna talk very loud about what I do and see if someone bites. So I'm talking loud, and I'm like, oh man, look at this dent that I fixed. Look, isn't this cool? And I was like, all right, now go to the restroom. So he goes to the restroom, and the guy walks up to me and say, hey, so you fix dents? And I'm like, yeah, nailed it. And then after that, I pretty much was going over there every weekend till I asked the manager that was working there. It's like, once you start having 3 people a day asking for me, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start my business over here. So I was going there every Saturday, and then as I built up my my it's like what's the brand? Yeah, the reputation. Yeah. And then the manager's like, "Oh man, you're getting like 3 to 2 people a day asking about you." I was like, "All right, I'm pulling the trigger. Like, I can upsell the cars that are coming in. I can do all this." And he had his own little office that I rented out in a little Bay area that I was working, and that's pretty much where it all started. Was with like a detail shop that was already been there for like 30 years that offered PDR, but they didn't really have a guy on site, right, to be able to capitalize on things.
Who were they using?
Oh man, it was everyone. It was just whoever
was available. Yeah,
yeah. Didn't matter because you know how like mobile PDR guys are. It's so hard to get a hold of them. It's like, oh, when you be there? Oh, I'll be there whenever. Or so it fluctuates.
Yeah.
You know, there's no set schedule for them. It's 2:00 and they're already tapped out sometimes because they're already sitting at home rather than wanting to go do something else.
It sounds like you had a vision, you had a goal of what you wanted to do, and it sounds like all of this stuff unfold, it was just getting you closer to your goal, to your mission, right? I mean, how important was that for you? The reason why I asked this is to get your point of view, because I always find a lot of new technicians that is just like, you know, they want to do this, they want to do that, but sometimes I don't know if they really have that vision.
Yeah. And so there's a couple things. One, there's a book called The Tipping Point, and then there's also a book called The Secret, right? I saw The Secret when I was very, very young, and I always created a vision board, a goal and direction, making my thoughts into something real, because if they're just in your head, they're not real until you put them down on a piece of paper, and now they're tangible to be able to achieve. So I've always been like, you have to make your goals tangible, something you can grab, something you can touch. So that helps out a lot of being able to trying to reach where I wanted to do. What was the other thing? What'd you say again? I'm sorry.
How did you put together your vision to do what you wanted to do? You know, what did you sit back and say, I want a retail space, I wanted to build my clientele? How did you put your whole plan together?
Oh, okay, yeah. So the other thing, I was actually just having this conversation on the drive to the shop with my girlfriend, because we're talking about real estate and people that do any other trade. Nothing happens overnight. People see everyone making money like off the rip, but I try to tell people, like, if you're going to real estate or even PDR, you got to think it takes 1 to 4 years to get your bachelor. Why can't it take you that long to be able to do PDR and be successful in it as well?
Yeah.
So my retail shop, I wasn't expecting to instantly make a lot of money. Still don't. I've only been doing it for 3 years. I'm not saying I'm doing bad or doing good, but I'm still getting my master's degree and building my brand.
Yeah.
So it's still a process, right?
Yeah.
So any money that I do make, I put right back into business to grow the business, not go spend it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that would
smart.
That's the best thing I could say is, like, don't expect, if you're a 3-year tech, don't expect it to be good at 3 years. Like, literally, you just kind of figured it out. Wait till at your 5-year mark, you might be good. Now it's time to work on your speed.
Yeah. And you always look at the outside. Everybody says this, you know, that you hear the must be nice, but they don't look at you driving home at 9 o'clock at night. You've been there since 6 a.m, 3 nights in a week, or how many events, or how many days that you come home from your vacation and you go right to work.
Yeah. I mean, I even tell people, like, I'm not the best technician, but I have more metal time than a lot of people.
Yeah. Certainly when you're at a CarMax. CarMax it's a machine. You know, I worked at a CarMax for almost 5 years. We did 4 years in a row, 7 days a week.
Yeah, I was doing 25 to 30 cars a day.
Yeah.
Like, how many for like 5 years? How many people can say they're doing 25 to 30 cars a day?
Yeah.
Every make and every brand and make and model. Like, that does. I have. There's a lot of knowledge bank in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a factory.
I'm gonna pick at Joshua here because he just said I am at 3 years and I still suck. I think that what we were talking about, that vision of growth. It also has to do with the way you speak and you talk about yourself. So when you say I still suck, I think I would change that word to where I am still learning, and
Or
there's
growth.
something in you that is going to strive you to want to keep going, because you tell yourself that you suck. There's nothing that motivates you to want to build more. So Joshua,
A lot of it is in this business
picking at you, buddy.
is mindset. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? You need to have that mindset of Josh is doing pretty good. I met him when he first started. Hey, Josh, you made it through a pandemic, and if you sucked that bad, you wouldn't have made it. So,
Yeah.
it's all in your mindset of where you want to go,
Yeah.
make a plan, and
And-
how to execute.
And something that I was going to say is that it's and how I started talking about this is that I think that it's so important, and to have that vision, have that goal, and just have everything else just unfold still in that direction,
Yeah.
because just as what he was saying, that hanging out at the bar, you see that that detail shop that you've been thinking about, that you've been knowing about, and it's that persistent of just like, hey, you never know what your opportunities are, just like you could talk to that guy, it's just like you just don't know where it could take you.
And it's a lot like I say all the time on the show. You go into an account, get to know every single person in there. And even the wash guy's assistant that just started. Because let me tell you, they're going to get tired of washing cars, and they're going to want to move up in the company. And in a couple of years, you could look over and be like, hey, James. And he's like, I'm the service manager now.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's all you then.
Yeah.
So, that's a big key thing. And we can all sit here and say a lot of it's relationship based.
Yeah. So you started working with the detail shop, or you just opened up your own location?
I opened up my location at the detail shop. So instantly I
Okay.
started like my Google page, Facebook, Instagram, and that's where I started my business. They had a separate office there that I rented out with a cover. And I've been working on pavement for the past 10 years, or 9 years already. So 6 years, sorry, time frame. What's a little overhead. At least I'm out of the sun. I'm not getting beat up.
Yeah.
Right.
How was that transition going from mobile to now having your spot?
I'll be honest, it was very lonely. Very, very lonely. Because when you're working at a dealership and you're working with other people, you build a camaraderie, a friendship, and you get to go to work and you talk about things. And then working by yourself, you it's almost like you watch the TV show Alone. We're just you have no one to talk to. Just fix some dents over here, and you're like, oh, what do I do? I need someone to bullshit with. There's no camaraderie.
Yeah. So you've been at the shop now for what, 3 years?
So after about 7 months, me and that guy didn't see eye to eye on things, and I moved, but I still don't have my own spot. I'm still kind of partnered up with someone else. You guys probably know the company. It's Tent World.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw that they offered PDR, and I know how hard it is to find a good PDR tech. So I shot my shot, and I said, hey, instead of offering PDR and having a guy maybe come through, or going through people, can I just rent out one of your bays? And you tell me how much money you want from me a month, and then I'll rent out that bay, and I'll build my own little office right kitty corner next to it, and I'll operate out of it. And in December it'll be 3 years, and now I rent out 2 of their bays, and I have my own little 12 by 16 office shed where I'm out of right now, where I have my own cable, internet, electricity, and stuff that it's my own personal space. So my customers come to me in the same parking lot.
That's cool.
That is such a great idea what you did. You know, I get a lot of guys that want to go into having their own shop, but they're always afraid of taking over that overhead, you know. And I think what you did, it's such a great idea. I mean,
Yeah.
one, I think that you're uniting with someone that's already has, you know, a name and a brand, and for you to just come in and build your brand too. You know.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay $3-4 grand a month for a building, right? But I saw an opportunity for a service that was being offered that no one was going to be able to compete at the same level. And I feel like I could really capitalize on it and help him with his rent and help grow my business at the same time. I felt like it was a win-win.
And it's a stepping stone. You know what I mean? You can't always go out and swing big. Sometimes you got to dabble, and then you grow. You know what I mean? You get to that point when you're like, I'm paying $1,500 a month. Could I afford $3,000 to get more space in a better location?
But what I did on that is I hired a former estimator that had a body shop, and I told him, instead of like buying a new spot, I hired an estimator that's been doing estimating in the area for 14-15 years, so he has a lot of connections with adjusters and body shops in the area already. And I told him I'd match the pay that the body shop was paying him.
Wow.
And so instead of buying a new building, I invested in the business to be able to pull in more work and knowledge. And so I got my buddy Scott as an estimator. And then, I mean, from there on and so forth, I just kept growing the business, investing into the business rather than the building, since I have a contract with him, right? So I have 2 more years at this location. So I'm trying to get us to a point so whenever I get the spot, then the spot is like the spot, right? So I have 5 people working for me right now.
Oh,
nice.
Wow. That is awesome.
Nice. Kevin's asking, are you going to compete at MTE, Kevin Bird?
Ooh, Kevin, I want to. Yes, I just had some things change in the business in the past month, hiring a new full-time tech. So we'll see how things go. If I got to, then you know, I really want to. I got the itch. That was so much fun.
So, tell us a little bit. How did you find out about the dent trials, and tell us a story about the dent trials? Because you know, it was a pleasure to meet you there. And
right back at you. Yeah. So I actually knew the Dent Olympics, not the Dent trials, since I was in Colorado. Like I said, the competition was very heavy over there, and those guys taught me a lot of like, there's a different world outside of just Dent Wizard. There's like a whole community of stuff. And as soon as I saw the Dent Olympics, I was like, whoa, like I want to do that. Like I want to be a part of that. And when the Dent trials were like, I went to the Vegas Dent Olympics or Dent trials over there, the MTE, because I just kind of wanted to like get a feel for everything. And it was really cool. And
have you ever gone to any other MTE before that? Oh,
no,
okay.
that was the first one, and it was like during COVID stuff, so there wasn't a lot of people there, and like it was very interesting. And so I was talking to actually some of the people I work with. I was like, man, I really want to compete in the Dent Olympics. Like, I think I got what it takes. Like, or just like to gauge myself with the high level of competition. And when I jumped online, there was only one spot open left in the Dent trials. It was at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was like a week out. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm doing it. I said, screw it. You know, like I've never competed. I don't know any of the rules. 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm the first person to go. And screw it. Like I just got to set the pace. That's my goal, to set the pace. And
you sure did.
I got there I got there a day early because I haven't got any emails from anybody, so I didn't know how to contact to figure out what was going on. So we got there a day early, and I was talking to one of the ladies when we got there. She's like, "Well, you're not on the schedule." I'm like, "What? What do you mean I'm not on the schedule?" And she's like, "Yeah, you're not in the system." So then she pulls over Sheldon. She's like, "Sheldon, is he on your board?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you're the last person to register. We got you, but it's not at 9. It's actually at 8 o'clock in the morning." I'm like, "Hey, I don't even wake up at 8. I wake up at 8:30 to get to work at 9. You know, like, I'm like 8 o'clock. I don't know if I can perform like this." And it's like, and I don't get to see what everyone else is doing. So I was up all night screaming at my girlfriend, walking back and forth. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna win this. I had to set the pace. I had to come out strong because like I'm not gonna look like I'm just some joke coming in over here. I'm like, I'm doing this. Like just kept screaming pace and screaming pace, and maybe like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I finally fall asleep. Wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to try to do a walk, get warmed up, do some stretches. Like I'm in it, right? And then I locked my keys in my car. Like I was a hot mess. But I got there. I performed. I did really well. My door and my fender. I felt. I knew I messed up on the rail because I broke my slide hammer, and it didn't really. So when you're pulling on the rails like that, you have to like snap it, and all I had was my mini lifter. So I was trying to fix it with my mini lifter the whole time, but I couldn't get the pit out, and my slide hammer was broken. I was determined not to buy a slide hammer for $150, right? I was like, oh, I could do it with my mini lifter. I could do it with my mini lifter. I saw it before. I saw the dent. And then the whole time I'm like struggling, straight struggling on this rail. And I wish I would have just bought the slide hammer because like that would have changed everything.
Then you saw Manny and Zan, and you're like, bro.
No, you know what's funny is that I walked in right when he was finishing, and we're just like, oh man, like you already went up. He's just like, yeah, I just finished. And I looked at Zan, I was like, oh, this guy's good. I was like, uh-oh.
Well, the first question is like, which one were you? I said I'm blue. And it actually worked on the wrong dent on the fender. And I was okay if I lost at that point because they literally told me it happens sometimes. So, like people just get in the zone, they work on the wrong dent. Yeah. But luckily I went first, and everything's very similar to everything. But yeah, that sucks. So
Kevin Bird's saying the Dent Olympic dent will be easy. Don't let that fool you.
He is lying 100%.
Don't let that fool you.
I'm not even worried.
How was the experience for the dent trials being your first time?
With me, it was great, man. Like I love competition. Competition only makes you better. It allows you to focus. It puts you in a beautiful spot and a mindset too when you do it, because you don't know what to expect if you've never done it, right? Yeah. So like I saw the dents, and I'm like, okay, well, I honestly fix fender dents like that worse all the time, like almost once a day. The door was all right. I mean, all of it was pretty normal fixes. Yeah. But it's still putting the time frame into the accountable part, right?
Yeah. Yep. I always tell everyone, just like we all know how to fix dents, but it's just when you put that time, pressure, it just built so much pressure that it's just like, oh.
That's why I felt confident. I really felt confident on my time because I do play with a playlist with music on certain dents, so I have like a structure of time of how fast I should fix things.
And what music is that?
Honestly, I listen to everything, but specifically for the dent trials, I have a 25-minute playlist song that I listen to when I need to clean stuff up. So I was like, all right, 25-minute cleanup song. I was like, these aren't big dents. I don't need to like clean up a whole panel in 25 minutes. I can do one of these dents in like 25 minutes. So I put that song on repeat for each one, and yeah, it's a chill jam, like with Homer Simpson, kind of like YouTube vibe mix kind of thing. Don't want to get too aggressive with stuff.
Yeah. Did you buy any tools at Anson there too while you were there, or?
Not for me specifically. One of my technicians that works for me, he needed some new stuff because Dent Wizard just got rid of them. And you know, when you're with Dent Wizard, you kind of just make do with the tools you have. And he saw the stuff that I had, and he's like, you know what, I'm down to grow and become something better, I guess, and really do better in quality. So we spent a good chunk of money up over there to help with that growth.
Yeah.
Good. What is your go-to door tool?
I don't know the name of it, but what I did notice is a lot of people using knife blades. I don't like knife blades. I like round tips. Like I really...
The Dent Wizard thing.
Is it a Dent Wizard thing?
Yeah, because we used to start with the rounded, put a chair tip on it.
Yeah, what was that? The R4?
Yeah.
Whatever the hell. Yeah, the chair tip. I do like the black chair tip. Still one of my go-tos, but I only like the Dent Wizard chair tip. I don't like the Dent Craft chair tip. Like that Dent Craft chair tip, like, when you push it, you break right through it every single time, real quick. Unless you like shock it with some like compressed air, you make it hard real quick, and then you get your pushes out of it. But yeah, like a round tip, I feel like I'm super accurate with it, and I could do some damage.
Clean.
Where like it rolls into it rather than like poking it. Yes.
Makes sense.
How about for glue pulling? What kind of glue do you use?
I'm a big Cam Auto fan. It just seems like very well-rounded for me in every situation where I don't have to like switch glue with my glue guns or temperature. I can kind of control the elements or like control the pull with the elements that are around me without having to do too much change.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
In like tabs, I love Kiko Dead Center tabs. Those are my go-to. Ever since moving to Colorado and doing a lot of hail, like that changed my repair time tremendously. Just being able to pull the pits out real fast.
Yeah, and that's what these dents and the competition have. That they're just so sharp, trying to get that that center. That dip is just it's wild.
Yeah, that pit is I couldn't stop dreaming about it. I knew that wasn't gonna hurt me. Like, honestly, I woke up and I was like, I'm dreaming about the pit and that rail the whole time, and I think that's what beat me up. Was just thinking about it too much rather than just doing my thing.
Yeah. So now you know what the dent trials was like, and you know that there's a dent Olympic that's coming up. So you're signed up for it, and you're coming out, or
not yet. I want to.
This is peer pressure.
Yeah, peer pressure. But
everyone on here listening, everyone's a fan of you now, and so the pressure's on. Like Kevin said, I'm not gonna say it back. Yeah. So
all right, Manny. One question? What's my last name?
Homer. Or
yeah. What do baseball players do? Hit homers. Let's go.
Well, I promise you, I'll bring you one of those rubber ducks.
Yes, I would love to have a duck.
In case,
That'd be great.
In case things just don't come, at least you'll win a yeah.
What's crazy is another guy, Alex from Dent Hunters, came after Manny last year. So maybe Homer's coming after you.
Yeah, it's it's a great competition. So much fun. We're all, like I always say, we're all good techs, and it's just there's something about the competition that it's just like it's it I don't know. It's awesome. It builds
awesome.
you.
Yep. It really pushes you.
Yeah.
I'm not backing out.
No, you're not. So for everyone that it's on here watching, where can they find you? Like on social media, where can they start following you? What's your main social media?
Yeah, the beautiful thing about the name, it's in everything. Instagram, Just a Dent. Facebook, Just a Dent. YouTube, Just a Dent. TikTok, Just a Dent. Nice. Even if you want to drop a Google review, it's Just a Dent.
There you go.
Bring it on.
And like I said earlier in the show, man, you do a really good job. You keep it light. You explain extremely well. Like I sat here tonight and watched it with my wife, and she's like, he does a really good job. You do a really good job, dude. Yeah. So you guys need to go learn something. Go look at his Instagram page.
That's all my buddy. My buddy Zach. That's all him. I literally just talk to the camera, and he does everything else. I was like, yeah, I can talk. That's all I can do. He does all the magic.
No,
shout out to Zach.
Keep up with that. You're doing a really great job. So, what does the future hold for Just a Dent for the next, let's say, 5 years?
Woo. Honestly, I'm trying to build $1 million business. Right, that is literally my goal. 83K a month, and I'm only 33. I'm trying to do that by 42. So, I think it's easily obtainable.
Yep.
And especially in the PDR industry where everyone's going now, where we're doing bigger hits, bigger jobs. I don't see why it can't be a thing.
I I think anything and everything that's possible in this world. And you know, with that kind of vision that you have, that kind of attitude and perseverance, I wish you the best, man. I think that you know, you're capable of accomplishing anything that you set your mind to.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
I just don't know about the Dent Olympics stuff.
What is that? Yeah. I'm a man of action. Okay, I got you. Don't worry.
Just messing with you.
I don't know, man. It's the peer pressure is getting hard in here.
Oh,
It's
what
getting
peer
hard.
pressure? The more we drink, the less pressure goes away. No.
Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on. Give a little bit of advice for some of these new guys in here on any of the business end of things. One thing that really helped you grow or put you in that mindset to set your plan of what you wanted to do.
Delegation. Do not be afraid to hire other people to take a notch off your belt. Be a boss, be an owner, and delegate things out to where people are good at what they do, so you can focus what you're good at. Delegation.
100%.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
really good.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
My last question is: Do you want to see the duck, or is that like no?
Sure.
Can you show us one? Yeah.
Yeah, I love showing the duck.
I thought he was ready. Oh man. What a great way to end the show. I really thought you were going to bring us one of those rubber ones that you had. You showed us enough. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for the invite, guys.
We really appreciate you. And
Now you got to come to MT, dude.
Looking forward to seeing you at MT.
Dude, have a great night. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Stay in touch.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right, later, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
That was great.
Oh, man.
That
What
was
an
great.
awesome guy.
Our industry is full of characters, dude.
Oh,
Absolutely full of characters. And it's awesome to watch a guy grow and try to make the right steps and just have an idea what he wants to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it was good. This was a good one.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You know, it's funny at the Dent trials. Every time I kept walking up to him and meeting him, I was just like, man, let's take another picture. Like, let's take a picture. And he just kept telling me, bro, we already took one, bro. But every time I kept, you know, interacting with him, I was just like, dude, such a dope person, you know? And his attitude, just very humble, just, you know, great attitude, just, you know, friendly. Every time I kept, you know, bumping into him, just like, let's take a picture. It's like, bro, this is like the third picture. I'm like, who cares?
You're like, you don't know my wife.
I got to show proof where I was at. No, just kidding. No,
Well,
but he's an awesome guy. So I appreciate him coming on the show.
And
thank you everyone else for coming on and join us.
And what a duck. What a duck.
Yeah. Great way to end the show.
It was good. I'll probably get banned on Facebook and YouTube, but it's okay. But anyway, Manny, I'm sure we'll talk, but have a good rest of your week. And
thank you.
No show next week because
I'm
going to be away.
All right. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Again, thank you everyone for joining. We'll see you guys soon.
Keep it real. Wash
Thanks,
your
Ryan.
hands and keep pushing.
Be safe.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
See you guys.